This video is going to walk you through using the XForm drag command. Before I activate the XForm drag tool, I'm going to make sure that no other tool is active. To do that, I'm going to hit escape 3 or 4 times just to be sure that nothing else is live. Once I'm sure that I have no other tool activated, I'm going to go up here and I'm going to click on my XForm drag command, which is this purple triangle with the blue arrow pointing upward. I select that tool and you're going to notice I get a prompt right away, and it says to select the entities to drag. If I want to move a single line, I can simply click on that line and you'll notice it turns yellow. If I want to click another line, can include that geometry as well. If I want to include several pieces of geometry, I can also draw a window over the geometry by clicking my left mouse button, dragging the window, and then clicking in that opposite corner. And now you'll notice that I have all this geometry activated, and I know that because it has turned this yellowish color. Once I've selected the geometry, it's still asking me to do that, and the reason it's doing that is because I have not yet hit enter. Enter is the way that we're going to communicate with the software to tell it that we've completed that step. So this is all of the geometry I wish to select. I'm going to hit enter, and you're going to notice my prompt changes up here. Now it's going to tell me to select the translation base point. And all this is asking me to do is to select the point upon the geometry from which I would like to drag the part. Doesn't typically matter where you select that part unless we're trying to line something up with some other known geometry on the part. In our case, we are not. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on the square here at the bottom at an endpoint, and now you can see that geometry has been freed up. If you look up here on the top, because this isn't always going to be the case, there's a copy or there's a move command. Most typically, the default setting is going to take you to a copy, and what that's going to do is it's going to duplicate the geometry. But we don't want 2 copies of this. We just want to move the geometry that was already drawn. So we want to make sure that the move button is selected, so we still have a single version of that geometry. We'll drag it to where we'd like it to be placed, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to click on that part. And once we do that, again, that prompt hasn't changed because we haven't hit enter. So go ahead and hit enter once that is where you'd like it. You'll notice that the geometry has now been placed on the part. If you still have a toolbar or a ribbon bar up here prompting you for something, just hit enter again. Make sure that those prompts are gone before you call it all good. Now that geometry is in place, I can go ahead and I can start designing my tool paths. So quickly to review the XForm drag command, I'm going to hit escape a couple times before I activate this tool. Select your XForm drag tool, select the geometry you wish to move, hit enter, select the base point from which you would like to move the geometry, hit enter, make sure that move instead of copy has been selected in the upper toolbars, and then once you've placed it, hit enter 1 or 2 more times to make sure that you've deactivated that tool and set the geometry in place.